You can never conceive if you're going to use an antidote that would keep hindering the seed that is to fertilize what is put in you to get you pregnant. What you talking about, Bishop? You cannot, when the word is preached, rather than you receive it, you put it on everybody else. Rather than say, it's me, Lord, you look over the church and say, it's gotta be somebody else. Instead of you raising your hands and saying, God, it's me. Let the word find me. Let the word prick me. Let the word change me. Let the word lift me up. Let the word put me in a new place. Somebody wave your hand. Open your mouth and say, Lord, I need a change. Lift your voice and say, Lord, I need work done on me. Wave your hand and say, Lord, I need something in me that's been hindering me for a long time. I need change. I need deliverance. I'm tired of going through the motion and not get pregnant. Some brother reach over and grab another brother. Say, brother, in this anointing, in this spiritual sense, say, brother, it's safe for us to say we can get pregnant too. Pull on them and say, brother, if we want change in the church, the first place the change has got to start. It's got to start with men. Come on here. Look at them and say, brother, there's some change in us that needs to start. Oh, y'all looking at me funny here. But we can't have babies if we don't have any men. Come on. Look at some men, women, and tell them we need you. Sit down. In the Eastern civilization, it was never hardly considered that the reason that a woman wasn't given birth is that the man himself could have been infertile. It was always put on a woman that the reason why we're not having children is because you cannot give birth. When Western civilization introduced in the change of centuries that not only can a woman be infertile, but men themselves can be infertile and cannot reproduce. I'm going to preach anyhow. The male, Lord, pray for me tonight. The male can have stones, but he still can have the inability to produce life. Lord, is this a men's conference? He can have stones, but he still can have problems. And in this 21st century, there's a lot of men that have problems, but we cannot get change until we are willing to admit our own shortcomings. I'm going to get some help from the back row. We're not going to get change until we have some individuals who will step up to the plate and say, I have problems. I have circumstances. Come on here tonight. I was thinking as I was coming along that sometimes in society, if a home is dysfunctional, it will only produce dysfunctional children. Come on, talk to me. If there's a home that is dysfunctional, then the very productivity is hampered and hindered by the lack of love and the lack of compassion. I'm going to get some help in here, brothers. When there is no love, there is just process, and nothing can really be birthed. Oh, God. You can have children, but anybody that have dignity does not just want to have children and not have a home. Will you look at somebody and say, I just don't want to have children, but I want to have a family? I'm going to get some help in here tonight. There's a whole lot going on. We just don't need to have children, but we need to have a family. Come on, somebody. We just don't want men who can have babies, but we need men who can be fathers. Come on. We just don't need men to jack up their pants and talk about I'm a man, but we need men who can embrace other young men and say, brother, you can be more than a thug on the corner showing your backside and showing your underwear, but we need men. Paul says, we have many instructors, but we have not but one Father. Come on, talk to me. We need men that will say to our families, we may not have everything everybody else has, but one thing we got. If we got God, we got help. Grab another brother and say, brother, if we got God, we got help. We may not have flashing neon lights, but if we got God, we got help. We got strength. We've got stamina. We've got joy. Come on. Grab somebody and say, neighbor, you need a Miss Seeley mentality. Look around at somebody and say, you need a Miss Seeley mentality. Ask them, do you remember Miss Seeley on The Color Purple? She said, listen, I may be black, I may be ugly, I may have a nappy head, but God, I'm still here. Tell somebody, neighbor, I may not have what you got, but I'm still here. And say, neighbor, if I'm still here, that is an opportunity for change, for deliverance. Clap your hands, open your mouth, and say, thank God, I got another chance. Clap your hands, open your mouth, and say, thank God, got another chance. Sit down. Hit somebody in the back and say, I'm still here. Tell them they may not like it, but hit them and say, I'm still here. Hit them and say, I got issues. I'll be the first one to admit it, but I'm still here. I got stuff in my life. I'll be the first one to admit it, but I'm still here. He may not like my stuff, but he sure loves me. He may not like my issue, but he loves me. He may not like what I go through, but I'm still here.